The XK251 is a brushless motor, about 250 millimeter quadcopter. It's 2S. That means it uses a 2-cell battery, a small light battery. It's completely enclosed, which is nice in terms of keeping the dust, dirt, rain, and things out of there. Comes complete with the unit, a single battery, a charger, a couple extra props, and a tool, and the transmitter. The unit comes completely ready to fly, so really all you have to do is charge up the battery and insert it in there, and you're ready to go. So this machine comes from the factory ready to fly. All you have to do is charge up the battery, insert the battery into the holder. There's a small connector for your 2S battery connector. Plug it in. When it's bound with the quadcopter, the rear LED will be green, and that is ready to fly. Now there is no normal throttle lock, or you don't have to do anything to arm it, but there is a throttle lock button on the transmitter, and you're going to want to use that and see how, of course, it doesn't no throttle when that is off. So when you're fiddling around with the quadcopter, pulling it out of a tree, saving it, grabbing it, you're going to want to flip that button. That'll keep you safe. Before we take our initial flight, a couple notes on the construction of this bird. It's pretty heavy duty, okay? Nothing feels cheap. It's carbon fiber arms. It feels tight. Feels like it could withstand some crashes. The landing gear, I noticed, has a nice spring to it. It's got these rubber caps on there so that when it lands on the ground, it doesn't do it with a thud. It does it with sort of a bounce. They thought a little bit about those aspects of it, and that's always nice when a crash doesn't destroy your bird outright. Now, one thing that I noticed that I'll probably add to this would be some kind of a stop for the battery, because if we crash hard, the battery's going to run forward, maybe hurt this connector, maybe hurt these wires. So I'm going to put some kind of a stop across here, fabricate something to try to keep that battery. It could be as simple as a heavy-duty rubber band even around this assembly, but keep that in mind. That would be a small improvement. The guys who are good at programming can set a bunch of the rates, but as it comes, it's set up for 2 modes, and this switch here says DR, dual rates. So basically, when that switch is forward, and all switches should always be forward in the beginning, it's nice and tame. And when that switch is switched to the second rate, you'll get a little more excitement in your flight, and flipping and things like that are possible. Flight, we'll start with everything in the rearmost facing position. As you can see, we have throttle, and here we go. A little wind outside today, but otherwise you can see it flies very nice. Feels very controllable. One thing about a model like this is there are no brakes, so when you start going in one direction, you got to be careful. You really got to back up strong to make it stop. Very nice flyer. Not extremely aggressive like a FPV 3-celled, or not even like the High Sky HM280, which seemed to zip away very quickly. This thing has a nice mode. Probably make a great second drone for a lot of people after they mess with a toy model and get the basics. Very nice flyer. Not extremely aggressive like a FPV 3-celled, or not even like the High Sky HM280, which seemed to zip away very quickly. This thing has a nice mode. Probably make a great second drone for a lot of people after they mess with a toy model and get the basics. To check out the power real quickly, let's give it some throttle. Yeah, as you can see, it's got a lot more than some of those toys do. The owner's manual on the XK251 is fairly poor, so to get the most out of this, you're probably going to want to go online and check out some of the longer threads on the forum. But basically, it's got an acro mode, or we'll call it a flip mode. So besides the dual rates, this one here, DR, that it will fly more aggressively with that forward, back is more for beginners. It also calls the other switch here like 3D or 6D or something of that nature. When it's back, it's in the rear LED is green, and that's more the beginner's mode. When this button is flipped forward, the rear LED turns red, and that means that the unit is capable of flipping and other such moves. Let's take a quick look at the flight characteristics when we have the dual rate button and their 3D 6D button. The red LED is on. There's your flip. Another flip. Another flip. Whoa! Now we're going to see how that thing handles a crash. We'll flip it back into regular mode. Moral of the story, don't do your 3D near your house. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking.